gray, heather navy. You guys got me.
Well, because it's
What can I say?
woven from strands of her hair, right?
Yes.
That's how that works?
Yeah, her real name's Rapunzel. Most people don't know that.
Let down your golden hair.
So
we are live. We're live on YouTube.
Okay, cool. Hey. Welcome, everyone, to Awesome Hardware, episode 142.
142?
This is side B, which means we've already streamed side A. If you missed that, you can check it out on Paul's channel. Go to youtube.com/paulshardware, or you can follow the link in the video description below. If you're watching us on Twitch, welcome back, Twitch. How's it going? Hope you guys are all doing fantabulously. This is a live tech news show where Paul and I like to get super wasted. No, we don't. All the time. We generally have a few beers.
You're like a healthy buzz.
Yeah, a very part of a balanced drunkard's breakfast.
Nothing too exorbitant.
No, of course not. And if you guys are of legal drinking age, feel free to drink along with us. It's always fun.
Drink responsibly.
And we do occasionally swear in this show, so if you are sensitive to that or have little kids around, be aware.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more in there.
That's okay. That's fine.
I got slightly more than Kyle.
I don't need more. That's fine. It's social injustice.
We're having a Lost Coast Great White.
Indeed, we are. Very tasty beer.
Lost Coast Brewery, friends of the show.
Cheers to all of you guys at home.
They sent me stuff once. It was awesome.
That's cool. They make good beer. Yeah, we're just going to talk more about some tech news. We'll be doing Pimp My PC that returns tonight, as well as some mail time, opening up some of the things that you have sent me in my P.O. Box words. So let's dive right into the news, starting with
you forgot to
the
stores.
Oh yeah, the stores. Wow.
Buy stuff.
I feel like it's been so long since we did the show. My store, if you are interested, is bitwit.tech/store. I sell lots of things like hoodies, amazing quality desk mats, surprisingly, female shirts for all of your female friends out there. I know we don't have many of them, but the ones that do deserve to be clothed.
Look, it's purple.
It's Burps. Wifey Sauce loves hers. And there's also glasses, mugs, very nice glasses. The glasses are now 20 ounce. They have been for a while now.
Yeah.
So those are cool.
Eventually we'll try the 20 ounce glasses. Right,
I know. I really do need to just hit John up and be like, send me some freaking glasses so we can have them for the show here. But Paul's store is paulshardware.net.
Yes, it is.
He's got lots of stuff as well. A lot of great merchandise. I love that two-tone hoodie. That's freaking awesome. The thumbscrew hoodie.
That out.
And also these
are lightweight hoodies, so they're kind of like it's kind of like t-shirt material. Maybe it's slightly thicker than that.
They're like all-weather hoodies.
But yeah, if
super nice to have.
Great for springtime, and
if you tend to run hot or something like that, but plain old t-shirts maybe a little too chilly for you, that may be a great option. But if you happen to buy anything from either of our stores, we'll yell Johnson at you at the end of the show, which is a weird little fun thing we do. If you buy something from both of our stores during the show, we'll double Johnson the shit out of you, and that's always fun. So
you get it from both sides.
Both sides. Hey yo. And with that said, let's dive into our first article, which is from CPSC. Not necessarily a tech news outlet or anything, but this is the Consumer Product Safety Commission website. Pretty obvious what they're into and what they do. And this article in particular, this little post here, is about an Amazon Basics power bank that has been recalled due to its proneness of fire and chemical burn causing.
Nice.
Which is pretty sketchy. So that's what it looks like. There's actually a few different models that use similar innards from the same manufacturer in China, of course, with the model B000LRK8EV0 or O printed on it. So check your battery banks, everyone, if it's an Amazon Basics model, because it might explode in your friggin' face. The recall involves 6 different models or variants of the unit: 16,100 milliamp option, 10,000, a 5600, a 3,000, and a 2,000 milliamp model. All of these are sporting micro USB ports. If you have one, immediately unplug it and stop using it before you die, and then contact Amazon for instructions on how to return it for a full refund. They shouldn't give you any problems because they are aware of the issue. They've already received 53 reports of power banks overheating, which isn't a huge deal. Overheating. It's getting a little warm. That's not a huge thing.
One report of chemical burns, though.
One report, though, of chemical burns due to contact with battery acid, and 4 reports of property damage involving fire and smoke damage.
Damn.
So,
And you know that chemical burns one, that's going to lead to more stuff, right?
oh, like burnt, like hurt, pain? Like, what do you mean?
Because
Gonna lead
like
to-
that's how Joker became Joker. So I have to assume whoever suffered from this is
Ah,
going to have
yes.
probably follow a similar path.
This is true. We have a supervillain in our midst, on the
The
rise.
battery bank
Beware,
bandit.
everyone. Battery bank bandit.
Surprised! I'm really surprised from there's some shoddy quality coming from Guangdong Electronic Company
Guangdong.
Limited.
China.
Guao,
Yes.
Guangdong?
No one saw that coming.
Guangdong. I've become slightly better at pronouncing Chinese words. Okay.
It's more of a sound than a word. All right. Perfect. Exactly.
It's an unpronounceable symbol.
All our Chinese viewers understood everything I just said. All right. So now that that's out of the way, guys, hope you're all safe and no one's gotten affected by that. But let's talk about our next article here from our good friend Anthony at Tweaktown. This is about potentially GPU demand for crypto mining showing signs of slowdown. Okay? And this was actually an article that sort of isn't really out yet. It's only available in the Digitimes special section, which is their before going to press, like their pre-release section, which you actually need a $410 yearly subscription
Yeah, you
to
gotta pay
in
extra.
order to access these articles that really haven't, saturated the public market yet, the public space of all these tech reviewers. So there's not as much digging that Anthony could have done here just because he didn't have full access to the article, but what he does know from the article, it says that Nvidia and AMD have been slowing down their developments of...
He doesn't have full access?
well, I would assume not, because the article is very, very short. Maybe he got it from somebody else.
Did he read like the synopsis blurb at the top or something like that?
I'm actually not sure. Maybe he did have access to it, but if he did, it's a pretty short article
Okay.
because there's not a whole lot of detail here. It didn't sound like he had full access, but that's just what I gathered from it. But at any rate, AMD and Nvidia have been slowing their developments down of their new GPU architectures and prolonging their existing GPU platforms' life cycle since the profitability for graphics cards has been weakening in recent weeks.
What?
That's
All right.
according to this
That's a relative term. That's a relative term.
It is
It's like
it is relative.
they're no longer making 5,000% profit. They're
Exactly.
only making
4,000.
like 4,000% profit.
Right.
All right.
It's like the beginning signs of the decline, even though it's still way up.
Okay.
And Nvidia may be, eventually controlling GPU prices, right? Because right now the pricing's been mostly determined by the retailers. So Nvidia might crack down on the GPU prices among all this, and they also might make mining specific cards. There's a couple articles going around about that. This was a rumor from Crypto Mining Blog, and I forgot to link the article, so Paul will diligently save my ass.
Where?
It was a rumor from Crypto Mining Blog, but you can probably just find, just type in Nvidia mining cards, and it's probably
Here's
a
an
top news
article on Tech Radar.
Yeah.
Tech Radar Pro.
Yeah. I
Here's
think
the
that's
card.
one I
Here's
saw.
the card itself. The picture that I've seen going around.
Yeah, looks like a Zotac card, eh?
You're right. It does. That shroud
Very
looks,
much a
looks
Zotac
pretty much
shroud.
like identical to that. You'll notice there is no I/O. They didn't even bother to put a bracket on there because
Right.
why do you need that for?
Yeah. And it's going to be based on the same GP102 GPU as the Titan X Little P, and 1080 Ti.
Yeah.
So there's a couple specs about it. 3200 CUDA cores. This is all, again, speculation. 1582 megahertz, 5 gigs of GDDR5X, TDP of 250 watts, dual fans on the cooler, the one that is pictured here, 5 copper heat pipes, and a hash rate of 47 megahashes per second in Ethereum, and 879 hashes a second for Monero. This is, the leak claims this info is straight from the manufacturer. No pricing at the moment, and I think it's going to be... A lot of people are going to think that this means that GPU prices are going to immediately fall down once more mining-specific cards come out, or once any mining-specific cards come out. But the article also reminds us that a big part of this is also because there's a huge scarcity of VRAM. And VRAM is something that's used across all GPUs, whether it's mining specific or gaming related. So there's an issue there. And additionally, some miners might still prefer to go the GeForce route or the Radeon route simply because those cards tend to have a higher resale value than something like this that doesn't even have video outputs. No gamer is going to buy this card. Let's say, when it's time to resell this thing. So
Use it for physics.
What? You could use it for physics. And there's granted it's a much smaller market than the whole gaming landscape, but we also don't know how well these are going to be priced or how terribly these will be priced. If they're much more expensive than, an equivalent 1080 Ti or gaming card, that uses the same GPU, then it's going to take longer for miners to make their money back, their investment back on a card like this, and they're just going to go for the GeForce or Radeon cards anyway.
I think in today's market, this would sell no matter what. Yes, probably not for quite as much as you'd pay for an equivalently performing GPU like a 1080 Ti or something like that because of the hit to the resale value. But you can see what they've done here. They basically try so Nvidia pumping out the GPUs is not Nvidia's problem. They can make plenty of GPUs. The problem is pairing those GPUs up with memory, and the memory is the very expensive part, and that's what's preventing them from putting more cards out of the market. So they've taken this and they're like, all right, we've got our GP102 GPU, which we can just crank out all day, and we've been working on for a while, and we've refined the process. They're probably getting really good yields on it by now, and we can plop that on a card that we've completely minimized the excess cost everywhere else. So no I/O means that at least for something like HDMI, you don't have to pay any licensing costs for that, as well as the hardware. All those connectors do cost money. And then pairing something like GP102 with 5 gigs of VRAM, which is completely impractical when it comes to gaming, but you don't need a ton of VRAM for mining. So you've cut down the frills on the card that you don't need when you make a mining specific card, and then the key factor that's preventing them from pumping out more graphics cards, which is the scarcity of GDDR5X. They basically put what they have considered to be the minimum amount on there to still give you the good mining performance. So
it'll be interesting to see if that cut in VRAM for these mining cards will be allocated to the gaming cards in such a way that it actually lowers the pricing a little bit. I don't know.
Well, the other story, I thought you were going to talk about the story, but I should have pointed it out to you. But there's another story going around right now. No, you are talking about this, right?
Which one?
Memory prices.
No.
You're not talking about this. Memory prices are going up. Not as in memory prices over the past year have doubled and everything. Memory prices as of 2 months ago, when everyone was like, wow, memory prices are really absurd and crazy and really high. And some articles came out that was like, hey, probably in 2018, we're going to see lower memory prices. They have gone up, and they're probably going to continue to go up.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty crappy
The article
situation.
does mention that, video memory is expected to improve later this year in terms of availability. But if the prices are already going up, then by the time we have more memory way later this year, it might just bring the pricing of memory back down to what it was a few months ago. Not necessarily lower it, a significant amount. So I don't know. It's all messed up, man.
Yep.
It's all messed
Yeah,
up.
the only Orphan Annie Sen in chat asks about NAND flash prices, and if there is one silver lining, one area where we're like, well, at least this isn't also continuing to be crappy, NAND does seem to be relenting some, and SSD prices are not absurd.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite down to the lowest point that they were at last year or earlier in 2017, but they're reasonable. You can get you can get a 256 gig SSD for $60 to $80. That's a decent performer, and you can get 500-ish gig SSD for in the low $100 range, and that's not too terrible. So anyway,
Thank God for that.
Yeah, but man, the memory
know.
prices need to come down, and the memory prices is 100% because of cell phones. Yeah, DDR4.
Yeah. Danny phone.
Okay.
Users. All right,
What's
moving
next?
on. Corsair has accidentally leaked out their latest case, the 1000D, the Obsidian 1000D, which was spotted on their own website, as well as Amazon's. So this was just a complete, complete screw up from a couple people. Not sure if this was intentional or not. Probably not, but it happens all the time, and anytime it does, article or outlets like Tom's Hardware tend to pick it up and tell us all the juicy details. So what do we know about this case right now? Well, it's a behemoth. It is one of the biggest cases Corsair's ever made. It's actually bigger than the 900D, which says a lot because that thing I could fit inside of that thing.
It's got wings. It's got wings like the cosmos.
It's got a wingspan. It opens up. Looks like it's got some latches, or it's on hinges, right? Some back hinges on either side. Tempered glass on both sides, so you can show off the cable management as well. It's a dual system case, so it houses an ATX system as well as a mini ATX system. But if you look at the back there, looks like there's only one power supply, and also one I/O, right? One area for the shield. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how they're actually going to configure it. If if you're going to have to do some pass-through action. People are speculating that maybe it's a single power supply that has a splitter, but then it's unclear how you would choose to power one system on versus the other. It'd be interesting if we could get a closer look at the I/O, the front I/O, to see if there's two power buttons on the case or something like that, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that right now.
It's up here, and all I can tell is it
USB 3.
Backlit USB and headphone jacks.
Yeah. So kind of fuzzy on how that's all going to work, but it is kind of neat that we are going to get a dual system, a dual chassis here. It looks like we can also house a pair of 480 millimeter radiators at the front of the case. Something you don't see too often is having dual radiators at the front, or any side of a case for that matter. So this thing that just goes to show, just how huge this thing is. And the aesthetics kind of are somewhat borrowed from the recently launched 500D. Steel body, as we mentioned, tempered glass side panels. The top and the front are made of brushed aluminum, and they look pretty nice. It also includes a Commander Pro fan and lighting controller. I'm kind of surprised it only has one
fan?
Yeah, unless it was a typo and they meant Commander Pro fans.
No, the Commander Pro fan and lighting controller.
Oh,
okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I was thinking just one fan.
You plug the fans into it.
I read it differently.
You plug the lights into it.
Yes, the fan and lighting controller. Okay. So as far as actual fans included, didn't say. Did we see any fans here?
I don't see any that are visible in the pictures.
Right. I mean, which makes sense because with a case like this, most people are going to add their own fans anyway. You're going to want some ML Pros or some Noctuas in here. Just, you're going to trick it out yourself with whatever RGB fantasies you're hung up on. And then we've also got, how much do you think this case is going to be? Did you already see the price?
No, I didn't.
Speculation? Any guesses? Any wild
800
wild guesses? I mean, we're definitely in that upper echelon at $500.
500. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is still
so it's a bargain. It's a bargain. $300 off. Only $500.
It's like how they always say like the top rater got the damn good award. They'll put the little badges on the retail site.
Oh yeah.
They should have Paul's overestimated price by Paul's Hardware. It's like a little badge, your own little badge.
I mean that was just based on what I've seen case manufacturers charge for their best and biggest case.
Oh, yeah.
Your Fantex, your N2 Elite and all that.
Right. And that seems to be the trend, right? One manufacturer comes out with this product that's phenomenally more expensive than anything that's ever existed, and then all of a sudden other manufacturers are like, hey, that exists now, we can start upping our price too. Mm-hmm. We know that Nvidia did the same thing when they released was the Titan X, their first $1,000 GPU, and now it's inflation and shit aside, $1,000 GPU, we don't even think twice. It's that's just a new standard for that top tier of product. So it's, you know, things aren't getting cheaper, to say the least. Anyway.
I think I've been lied to.
All my life. So let's move on to our last article for this half. Before we dive into Pit My PC, this is a quick news article from Overclock 3D about Microsoft officially releasing Intel's Spectre and Meltdown microcode in a Windows update.
Oh.
And you know, it's been decided, just in general, that distributing these Spectre and you know, these microcodes on a hardware level just isn't quite as viable as we'd like it to be, simply due to the countless number of motherboard models, different hardware configurations, that makes it really impossible to deliver a universal microcode that works for everyone. Plus, most users
Also,
don't really know how to flash a BIOS.
Yeah, if you're relying on end users to flash their BIOS in order to patch this, then you're going to have a very, very low adoption rate.
Yes, indeed. So at a general consumer level, Microsoft is sort of stepping in here, and they're expanding Intel's coverage of their microcode updates so that Windows 10 users on version 1709 can access updates for Skylake, Kaby Lake, and Coffee Lake processors. Windows 7 and 8.1 will be covered shortly after. Microsoft has made this as an official announcement. They've suggested that all Windows 10 users update to 1709, which is the most secure version, of course, and reminds us that version 1607, also known as the anniversary update, will soon reach its end of life support on April 10th.
It sounds so ominous. End of life, we'll be cutting life support.
I know.
Smothering it with a pillow.
We'll be pulling the plug.
Then it would be incinerated. Ashes would be spread
Just cremated into the ocean.
into the ocean for its last request.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on to Pet My PC.
Yay,
You guys
Pet My
have tweeted in some pictures of your beloved systems, and Paul and I are going to laugh at them. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to give you some helpful tips to hopefully pick up the
crap.
look and feel of your system
Hold on.
and make everything look all
Broke that one.
sexy and stuff. So our first submission is from PostGaben with the Pentium G4400, 4 gigs of DDR4. It says DDR4 RIP. I don't know what RIP
Means rest in peace.
because it's a small amount of RAM.
Because he's only got 4 gigs.
Aha. 1 terabyte WD Black GTX 560 Ti, MSI H110 gaming motherboard, and EVGA 450 BT power supply. So this is we definitely got sort of a older semi-budget system here. Again, with 4 gigs of RAM, we got a Pentium chip and an older graphics card, 500 series GPU from a GeForce card. Look at that old ass cooler, man. The Intel stock cooler is the first thing that stands out to me. One, because it's just so ugly, and rip meant rip jaws.
Oh, really?
Because it's a rip jaw. It looks like a G-Skill. No, that's Aegis. Never mind.
I think he just meant rip.
Yeah, it was just that's
Like-
just pure coincidence.
Okay.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay, so Intel stock cooler.
We have to give him credit, though. It's a modded Intel stock cooler. He has
He
blacked
put
out
black.
the Intel logo, which got rid of the blue, which would have not matched with the other colors in the build.
But I feel like the blue also distracts you from that god awful cable.
The cable is just, it's got to be there
Nothing
to
can
show
be
you
done.
where the power goes. That's where the power goes.
I want to see the power. Well, let's highlight it for you with a giant yellow cable.
We have a single LED fan
Right.
as the sole light source in this build.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. There's a front LED fan too. It's just not the. Wait, what type of fan is this? Is this one of those?
That's like one of the overseas brands. I want to
Okay.
say. I could be wrong.
I was
but
gonna be like, does he have a $40 Corsair maglev fan?
worth more than
This
half the
exhaust
system.
back there. That would be ridiculous. All right. So what?
So I
do
said
we-
replace. I mean, honestly, the hardware is so old that it's not worth upgrading the system.
Yeah.
It's just time for an overall fresh system. So, like Paul was saying earlier, maybe wait a month and see what Ryzen 2 has to offer, or second gen Ryzen has in store for us. And if you like what you see, make the switch.
I mean, if you really wanted to,
keep the case and power
like
supply
if we're just doing our typical critiques, you know, there's a few loose cables in here that you could tidy up a little bit here and there, but that's not going to really affect anything performance-wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think based on the level of hardware you're working with, I think this is a pretty nice looking build.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
That's what it boils down to for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's not like your case has a side panel or anything, so it's not like you're going to be able to see any of the looser cables and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it's hard to say what you should go for first when it comes to upgrades, but yeah, it seems like you know what you're doing as far as the build goes. But yeah, a next gen, you know, a Ryzen builds with a lot more CPU horsepower. I think you'll feel the improvement there.
Oh yeah, big time. Thanks, Gaben.
Let's move on.
Next we have Kyle.
Kyle,
my other half.
The other Kyle.
With a Core i7 6700K, Gigabyte GA-Z170 XUD3, GTX 1080, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. So first off, I would sell your GTX 1080 for any debt that you're in.
Yep.
Immediately pay off all your life debt with that single card.
Spend the rest on hookers and cocaine.
Yes, absolutely. Send us pics. No dick pics, please. Just of the hookers.
All right, we only have a single picture here. So although this is an NZXT, this is the Noctis
420?
420, dude, 420.
The Noctis 420 blaze it.
So
450
it's
maybe?
got like the undercarriage lighting and stuff like that. I feel like if the side panel was on, you wouldn't be able to see these two LED strips.
Right. No,
right now they're standing out to me like, wow, this looks gross. But we only have this single picture. I will give you the immediate critique that it definitely seems like your computer lives on the floor. Yeah. And that's bad. Boo. That's very bad.
You will be publicly shamed.
I would highly recommend, for the sake of future cleaning of your system, to find a better solution for that. It looks like you have a vert desk, possibly a sit-stand desk. I would just scoot it to the right by 5 or 6 inches and put the PC to the left of it, but just give it something to sit on. Give it a small pedestal to raise it up a little bit. I find it curious that you have orange cable extensions.
Right. But black and red case and green.
But black and red case. And then you have this big old Noctua cooler, which I believe is an NHD15.
It's like you cared about color coordination at one point and then just gave up.
So
I don't know.
I feel this is a conundrum because it's like, what do you tell them to fix? If your focus is aesthetics, then maybe swap the NHD15 for one of their chroma ones, or that. I mean, because you can get equivalent performance with a much better looking deal, a much better looking setup.
Yeah.
I feel like your cable extension is really a waste. It doesn't match with anything.
Right.
Can you swap it?
Just make a black or red one.
Yeah, just swap it.
Or black and red.
All black would be much better than the orange.
Yeah.
And then you've got a stock Nvidia cooler, which doesn't match with anything unless it's silver, black, and green. So what do you? I don't know.
There are modifications you can make to those Founders Edition cards to make the LED white or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, that's
so depending on how far you're willing to go.
Also, a cable extension. I mean, don't bother with this unless you're fixing all of the other color coordination issues. But a cable extension for your graphics card would be nice. I don't know. There are too many things with this build that I feel like need to be switched. And then I, of course, go back to the fact that this probably is there's nothing wrong with this system.
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine, and it performs very well, and it probably has really good temperatures and stuff like that. So.
But we have to keep this a strictly superficial segment, Paul.
Exactly.
Otherwise...
Very superficial.
Otherwise people will get angry.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kyle and things, for sending that in. And
thanks, Cap.
Let's move on to Captain Kilroy.
My PC is a Ryzen 5 1500X, power color R9 380, Gigabyte Aorus X370 gaming K7, a Cooler Master NL240L. We've got 8 gigs of Crucial Sport LT at 2666, and some other stuff with an H500P from Cooler Master. Recently upgraded to Ryzen from my old FX
Nice.
8300.
Okay.
Cool.
So nice upgrade. All right. Now you've got the original H500P case, which, depending on who you talk to and how much Gamers Nexus they watch, is either like a functional case that's just fine and, you know, maybe doesn't have the best airflow, or it's like the most horrible thing ever created and you should take it and destroy it.
Things will explode.
Destroy it, burn it in the fires of hell.
Before it burns you.
No, it's a perfectly adequate case, and it doesn't look like you have an insane amount of hardware in there either, so you're probably doing just fine there. All right, so like overall everything's looking pretty good. You don't have anything that's just immediately standing out as in that looks horrible. So we got to be a little bit more nitpicky. Your front panel cable connectors here, maybe braid those. You could braid those up. That would make those look a little bit more tidy.
Yep.
You've got a daisy chain or PCI Express graphics connectors here. I never really like the look of those. It's possible to take that little extra hoop, that little extra loop, and kind of zip tie it and work it back behind the main cable coming from behind there, and that can make it look a little bit cleaner. So maybe something like that would make it stand out a little bit less. Beyond that, everything's looking pretty clean.
Yeah.
I mean,
no real complaints.
Right?
It would look pretty blingy if you matched your rear exhaust fan to the other fans that are on your radiator.
Yeah.
That'd look kind of cool.
Yeah, that could balance everything out a little bit more.
But like Paul said, you've made all the right moves here for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of blank space at the front, but I mean, it's a larger case, so room for expansion, right?
You got that one SATA cable that's going into the grommet, and another one that's just going straight behind that motherboard tray panel. And
Okay.
That kind of pokes my OCD just a little bit.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, again, everything looks really good overall, so we have to be a bit more nitpicky here.
A little more symmetry.
But
would be good there.
Yeah, you know, obviously you could swap the cables out for some black extensions or something like that, which, you know, if they were custom sleeved or something, then it would make the system look overall a bit more like a showpiece.
Okay, final critique, and then again, this is just not a big deal, but just something you could do. If you want to make a more aesthetically pleasing swoosh. with your tubing here for your CPU cooler, I don't know. I feel like right now it kind of goes across the middle and then arcs back in. Just make it a nice. It should come down and then loop in.
How do you prefer to bind your AIO tubes, Paul? What do you usually do?
I mean, if you can get away without doing it, I think that's best,
Well,
because that's just best. But like, I would take a single or at most 2 zip ties going around them, so it's minimal and it's not very avoidable, and then twist the zip ties around so that the clasps are on the back, so they're not visible.
Yeah.
And that's the way you can kind of get them to go together,
Right.
without looking too heinous, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good solution.
All right.
Cool.
Next
Thanks.
up is AlanDub.
With
He
his
has the Fire and Ice build. R7 1800X, a Lian Li 011 case. Crosshair 6 Hero motherboard, 16 gigs of Flare X G-Skill memory at 3200 speed. An Asus Strix 1080 Ti OC, of course, our HX1000i power supply, 960 EVO 250 gig SSD, crucial MX500 1TB, also SSD for AAA games. 3 2TB Barracuda Pro hard drives in RAID 0 for Steam, 6 Corsair ML120 fans, EK blocks and rads and sourced cables, Singularity, Protium, Reservoir, and Bits Power fittings.
Wow.
Damn.
What an all-star lineup of parts here. This definitely, you can tell, was a labor of love as far as builds are concerned. And
I like the like, I know this was all right, so this is probably Alan's choice as implemented by Ensourced, but I really like your choice
the sleeving
with the cable sleeving.
Oh yeah, it looks.
It's
Ensourced
unique.
does such a good job, Joey. There.
You've got a nice color scheme there with kind of that accent textured on there. I think that's classy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely. It's classic.
Gosh, what else can we say here?
You know, I mean,
Even the rear cable management is looking quite clean. Your Barracudas are tucked away as they should be.
And I'm really digging that vertical GPU. Like,
All right.
with that block.
I
It just looks so
found
good.
I found a
Cable.
critique to make, and it's not anything to do with aesthetics. Yeah. All right. So, Alan, you have what appears to be 3 Seagate Green drives in a RAID configuration. Now, these are the Barracudas, and I could be wrong about this, but I know on the Western Digital side, the green drives are not ideal to use in a RAID configuration. Depending on how often you're using the system, if it's on 24/7 or not, and whether that RAID array, typically RAID arrays will have more uptime, and depending on how the RAID array is configured, there might be more maintenance that goes on from the RAID controller. So if this is a system that you're just powering on to play games a few hours a day or something like that, you're probably just fine. If you're keeping it on 24/7, if you're accessing that RAID array more frequently, like remotely or something like that, to give the system a reason to keep those drives spun up more often, I might consider swapping the drives out, simply because the green drives are typically not made for 24/7 access. I would go with either WD reds or blacks, or the equivalent on the Seagate side.
Indeed.
That's my only suggestion. Beyond that, you have a really, really nice system.
Yeah, man.
I really like all of your choices.
Well done. And I have to also say, it's very rare when you see someone pull off red and blue this well. I typically do not like this color combination. I just think it's not for me personally, but
it's
this is very
not like
eye-catching.
red. These are kind of,
It's like a cherry
slightly
red? I don't
slightly darker, I feel like. Slightly.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just the color or the picture
Maybe.
contrast or something. I don't know. But yeah,
It looks great, though.
really nice build.
Nice, man. All right, and then I think we have one more. Salvor.
Salvor.
With his Xigmatek Midgard 2009 case, i5 2500K, MSI RX 470, 4GB gaming XOC, and a Gigabyte Z77X D3H, 8 gigs of DDR3 Corsair Vengeance at 1600, with some other stuff, 250 gig, 850 Evo, and 7 terabyte miscellaneous HDDs. Okay, this is another system that seems pretty stacked with hardware.
Ooh.
Looks like a full house in this case. Thank you also for the outstanding lighting in these pictures. Good picture quality, that helps.
Clean.
I like what you've done with the Hyper 212, adding a more high-end Corsair fan, one of those AF fans, or maybe it's a static pressure one on there, that matches with the rear exhaust fan that looks really snazzy, along with the intake that you have at the bottom of the case. Looks like we've got yet another red and blue theme going on here with the blue accents on your motherboard heat sinks. And
it works though.
It works.
It's working
yeah,
for me.
I was gonna say again, like we have another example of, you know, it's not overly done, and it's doesn't seem like it's clashing too much. I would say the sticker on your power supply looks a little bit budget oriented, or maybe just slightly dated, and maybe get take a heat gun to it or something like that, and remove the sticker, just for a cleaner look overall.
I like the Cooler Master logo on top of the power supply.
That's tasteful.
More than the side. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'd leave the one on top alone. Looks fine. And cable management is pretty top notch. Love the sleeving. The sleeving job here is very nice. I mean,
yeah, I can't
not
find
much
much to
say
critique with this build. There's maybe a few cables over in the hard drive area that I can't quite tell where they're going. That might be a configuration so you can pull drives out, is my guess. Just because there's a couple Molex adapters or cables sticking out there that I'm not sure about. But honestly, even those are routed pretty well, so it's not very noticeable at all.
yeah.
I'm kind of curious what the situation is up here with the.
I noticed that.
Looks like possibly an old optical drive mount or something like that was ripped out of there. That's definitely standing out, but it's hard to say for sure with these pictures because the side panel isn't on, but I would guess that with the side panel on that's not going to be visible at all.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that stands out, like, you know, not looking super clean.
Right.
So So
overall,
good job.
Great job, Salvador.
Yes, thank you, Salvo.
Thank you, everyone who submitted their systems for Pimp My PC. We'll be doing this again in a week or so, so don't be discouraged if you didn't get picked this week. We do this very regularly. So on that note, let's do some mail time.
Oh yeah, mail.
In fact, we can actually do a combo here if you want to start reading off some questions while I also unbox things and open envelopes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Alright, I'm gonna start reading donation comments.
Okay, go for it.
First one's from Bazinga X, $10 donation. Need a recommendation for a monitor. More than 100 hertz, not megahertz, hertz refresh rate. 2 millisecond or better. G-Sync, ultra wide, curved, greater than or equal to 34 inches, basic capable, prefer quality over price. We'll end up getting 4 of them for a multi-monitor system. Bazinga, I feel like if you entered all of that into a drill down search in a website, you'd probably come up with like 2 monitors that actually meet all those criteria. I don't know of the monitor off the top of my head that would match up to that, especially when you're talking about greater than or equal to 34 inch. Also, I'd be curious what resolution you're interested in. Probably 4K at that size. So yeah. But I don't know the exact model to tell you what to get. I can say that my preferred monitor manufacturers, the brands that I typically like and have had a good experience with, would include Asus, BenQ, Acer, Samsung. Who else?
I think you named all the big ones.
Yeah. So check for one of those.
MSI is making gaming monitors now.
I doubt they have this specific.
Oh wait, what's he looking for? Oh, ultra wide curve. Yeah.
Oh, he did say ultra wide. So Acer Predator X35 is what you want to go for. I didn't even see curved ultra wide.
Right.
The Acer Predator X35.
These are also very nice too.
Or the Asus. What is that?
The PG3. Is the model number anywhere visible? No. I honestly forget. I'm really bad with remembering model numbers after months of receiving a product. It's PG something. Ultra wide. PG348Q. Haha.
PG348Q.
That's the one.
It's the ROG Swift. Yes.
Yes.
There it is.
There she blows.
Which is about. Looks like it's about $1,200 right now, depending where you buy it. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No worries.
What's next?
I have a letter here from Charlie.
Charlie.
He says, I'll just read it briefly. I won't go through the whole thing, but he said, Dear Bitwit, hi, my name is Charles, and I am 11 years old. You are my favorite YouTuber.
That's awesome.
Your videos are awesome and funny. I like your PC build videos the most. I built my first gaming PC over the summer, but it doesn't work at all. Oh, it doesn't work well at all.
Oh.
The parts I used were a GTX 1050. He's got an Intel Pentium G4560. That's actually a really nice pairing of CPU and GPU right there. With a ASRock B250M motherboard and a bunch of other specs that
Phoenix
look
Nova case.
perfectly fine. If you could please help me fix it, that would be so awesome. I live in Pasadena, California. Thanks so much. Sincerely, Charlie. Charlie, I don't know how to really help you because unless I have the system on hand, I'm not going to be able to fix it or know what's wrong with it. If you want to send me your system, I'm serious. If you mailed me to my mailbox, to my P.O. box, your system, I would take a look at it and possibly make a video on it. But that's really the only way I could help you out. At any rate, my friend, thank you very much for sending me the lovely letter and a picture of your system.
Oh, it's
I
a
hope
picture.
I hope you can find a way to make it work. Because it looks like, I mean, I don't see any red flags from the picture, even though it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, good luck. Good luck. I hope you figure out what's going on with it. But let's move on. We've got another donation here. Wait, I've lost my
Next
place.
donation is from Scott Dilbeck. Yet again, $6.66. LOL. Yes, sure, the Audi is no comparison. Better, side note, I have 3 RX 480 Strix I need to flip for a profit. If I could get a 1080 Ti Strix below $1,300.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, definitely sell those
1,300
480s ASAP.
Good lord.
But it's like, yeah, I would want to sell those and then wait however long it takes for prices to level out, but who knows when that's going to happen. Next up is El Jefe Reviews, $5 donation. Thank you, El Jefe. What's up, guys? Kyle, loving the improved lighting and video quality in your latest videos on FLOATPLANE. Keep up the great work. And hashtag free Heather.
Thank you for noticing.
Fancy lighting.
This is what Heather must feel like when I notice when she's got her hair done.
Kyle set up the lights.
Oh my god, he noticed. That's how
and I was like, what's going on? He's got a light he's pointing like not at us, and then this light over here that's dressed up like a ghost. And then there's this light over here that's pointed at the wall for no apparent reason.
Like, why? We're not filming the wall, Kyle.
All right, sure.
I can thank / blame Chris because he's the lighting
Chris's
guru.
fault. Okay. What do we got here?
Oh, this is an actual
an
actual Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's $20,000. No, what are they worth? 10,000?
Sell it quick before it plummets. Before the value plummets.
That's pretty fun.
It just says. So this just says thank you for your order. If you have any issues with this product, so this is just from the manufacturer, the seller. And there's no letter or anything from the person. It's straight from Amazon, it looks like. So someone just ordered it through Amazon, had it shipped here, but I don't see any sort of note attached to it, so I don't really know who to thank.
This is awesome for, like, you should just take a bunch of pictures of this and upload it to a stock photo website. Like, there's so many people who just want random, like,
that's true.
I need a visual representation of Bitcoin.
For my presentation at work or my article. Or...
This is not one. So there was a very small number of Bitcoins, from my understanding, really, really early on that were minted that actually had a code on them. But that is not...
Not the case anymore.
This does not have a...
And now they're all the same.
A wallet address or anything.
They're a dime a dozen.
I'm going to open this up.
Yeah.
No, really?
Why not?
It's uncirculated.
So? I don't care.
Okay.
What do you mean uncirculated?
If you've ever done coin collecting,
an
uncirculated coin
what do you
is
think I'm
one
gonna do with
that's
that?
never touched human hands.
Oh my god.
All right.
Don't even look at it,
I've
Paul.
opened it. You touch it.
Does
I'm
the
not gonna
value
touch it.
Does the value increase if you've never even looked at it?
I don't know. This is probably made of like heavy plastic, so I'm not too concerned.
I won't touch it. I'll just sort of. Now you got me all nervous. now I feel like something terrible is gonna happen if I touch it.
It's probably not. Actually, it does feel like metal. Here, just pick it up.
Okay, fine.
There you go. Ah! It's lost all of its value now.
No. What does it say on the back?
I'm gonna keep this plastic container.
It says something approved, MJB 2013. No idea, but yeah, I mean it's like an actual coin. It's got weight to it and stuff.
Proof coins, yes, techful.
Proof
I
coins.
very, very briefly did some coin collecting when I was much younger, and it's probably just a scam to get me to pay more money for. Here, take your Bitcoin.
You just bought
Yeah,
a
it's
dollar
plastic.
coin for $2.
Yes, exactly. That's what they do. And then they're like, no, but it's freshly minted
Special.
and has not been in circulation.
It's
And
never
if you
touched
keep
human
it for,
hands.
if you keep it for 200 years, it might be worth more money. All right.
I don't live that long.
Reed Johnson, $25 donation, says, Kyle, what phone do you use? It looks like a Pixel 2 or 2 XL. Was curious as a Pixel 2 XL owner.
It's a Pixel 2, non-XL.
Non-XL.
And I love it. It is
I-
my favorite phone that I've ever owned. Hands down.
You didn't ask me. But I'm
You
gonna
have the
say-
XL too,
I
right?
have the
2XL.
Pixel XL.
Okay, the Pixel
Not
1
the 2.
XL.
Not the 2.
Gotcha.
I ordered the 2. I got the 2, and it didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I returned it. And my Pixel 2 actually had like a physical defect. And it was enough to the point where it prevented me from doing like a proper video review on it. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna return this, and I didn't really need a new phone at the time, so.
And my Pixel 1 that I had before this one had a physical defect known as spilling beer on it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rip.
Okay,
let's open this guy up. We've only got 2 more here. This might be, I could be wrong, but this might be Pup Shepherd's package that he's been inquiring about.
I think it is.
I think I'm right.
Yay.
We have a one-of-a-kind Pup Shepherd t-shirt from Uber Prints. Are there 2 in here? There might be 2. Oh no, it's just one. It's just one fairly large t-shirt. Pup.
No, that's 2 shirts.
Oh, there's 2. Awesome hardware. Awesome hardware for awesome people. It's the limited edition Pup Shepherd Awesome Hardware collab t-shirt.
It smells so fresh.
Ah, yes it does.
Yay!
Never been in circulation.
That's true.
Until now.
Thanks, Pup.
Thanks, Pup. Appreciate it, man. We'll wear it with pride. What size is this?
I think it's the XL.
Is it XL?
No, it's a large.
That's a large. Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Yay!
I'll give one to Wifey Sauce and she'll wear it too.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks, man.
All right. Tom's Bremsmiths with 50 Norwegian krona. Kyle, remember when you said that it would be awesome if NZXT makes a motherboard when the H700i launched? By the way, I challenge start and finish HTPC before me. Before Paul. Yeah, so you should start an HTPC build and finish it before I finish mine.
I should?
That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Yes.
Nah, I've made so many HTPC videos already.
I know.
I'll leave the next one to you.
And wasn't it funny how you gave NZXT the idea to make a motherboard?
Royalty checks in the mail.
Should have given them the idea to make a reasonable power delivery system on it too. It's okay.
Or just a reasonable price.
Jack Oswald with a $5 donation. Hey guys, hopefully you can figure out something out of my beer glass suggestion. Was awesome from Iowa to check out breweries in Cali.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
Wait, breweries?
It says, hopefully you can figure something out with my beer glass suggestion.
Oh, I don't think we got your beer glass suggestion.
Did we get
oh
that?
wait, oh yes, yes, the
Was
one.
that
It
the
was
first time?
it was. He tweeted me a picture of a Ballast Point glass at their brewery, and it was just like one of the Tulip Pet glasses.
Oh, okay.
It looked really nice. I know our guy John, our merchandise guy, can get pretty much any kind of glass, so
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we'll at some point expand our
He's
glass collection.
It's a glass master.
Aficionado of glasses. Alrighty. I think this is the last package that we have for mail time. Let's see here. This might be from
Stroop
Waffles.
waffles. Oh my gosh, you got Stroop waffles.
You can have one because there's 2 of them here. These are so good.
Oh, those are dangerous.
You know these? You've had these?
I only have ever had those on short Delta flights.
Yeah, right. Me too. That's the only time I've ever had them.
Last year,
it's on Delta flight.
Last year, I
That's
took
true.
some short Delta flights from LA up to the Bay Area, and they would give you a Stroop waffle.
Yeah, just one Stroop waffle, and they were
Just-
always delicious.
It's a little waffle shell with like some
Caramel in
caramel.
It's
It's
so
a little
good.
flat thing, and you're supposed to take it and put it on top of your coffee, and then the coffee like warms it up and makes it soft. But they're very delicious.
I want one right now.
Stroop waffles.
You want one too, don't you?
I would totally eat one right now.
All
right.
Before we continue on, I was talking to Brian from BPS Customs recently. He said that he did send me something in my P.O. box, which I thought I was going to open up tonight, but it appears that it may still be in my P.O. box, Brian. So if you're watching this, don't be discouraged. I'll let you know next time I visit it.
We'll get through to it.
I'll let you know if it
Alright.
arrives.
We actually have quite a few more donations, so I'm going to try to go through these a little bit quicker.
Handle it.
Hai Lung with the $5 donation. I maintain that we need a dedicated Pimp My PC video once weekly. I paused my stream on Twitch to come say this. Kyle?
That's a tall order, but
It's been suggested before.
I might do something similar to Pimp My PC on the channel.
He says, LOL, love y'all. Hai Lung out. Thank you, Hai Lung.
How long?
Michael Livote, $5, says, just wanted to say I love you guys. Look forward to this weekly. Thank
Thanks,
you,
man.
Michael. That's
Feels good to be loved.
Kind of you to say. We appreciate that.
We love.
Andrew Schweier, $5 Canadian. I'm a Quadro noob, but I may use it for Ark Survival Evolved server. Thanks anyway. Cheers. That is interesting. I have not heard of a Quadro card specifically used to run a server. I'm not sure if that would be taken advantage of. I mean, a Quadro is like, you know, you got a lot of parallel processing going on, but you need software that's able to take advantage of it.
Gaming cards don't really have too much of an issue running servers,
Yeah.
especially unless.
I mean, I don't even see why you would need a gaming card. I feel like a server would be
That's true.
would be less concerned with with actually rendering stuff and more
Right.
concerned with player
Your
position
processor
and updating stuff.
Memory.
And yeah, so I don't think you would need a Quadro for that, Andrew. I'm sorry if we're not.
We're kind of Quadro noobs too, so
Yeah.
do some more research maybe.
Okay. MB67 Lenticular, thank you for your $13.37 donation. Kyle, I have nothing important to say other than cheers. It says,
Cheers!
Paul, hope all is well for you and yours. Thank you very much, sir. And you've been sending very, very picturesque sunset photos recently.
And thank you to... Was there a name attached to this?
The Stroopwafel.
Who gave us the damn stroopwafel? Doesn't say.
Really?
Whoever...
There you go.
It just says, "Hi Kyle, enjoy this Dutch treat, and sorry to Heather, because I do not think it's vegan." From Omar.
Omar.
Thanks, Omar.
Thank you, Omar.
Woo! Awesome.
Yeah, not vegan.
Definitely not. More for me.
All right. Aaron Porter, $5 donation. The GPP, or GeForce program, I talked about in my half, would also mean, partner program, would also mean that companies like Asus couldn't sell ROG motherboards for Intel and AMD as well.
What? I thought about that. I didn't know if it was only concerning, if it only included GPUs or all products.
Like, I could see how it could be construed that way, but that would make zero sense to me from Nvidia's standpoint. What benefit would they get from somehow restricting motherboard sales?
Right.
Which is a area of the market that they don't even deal with.
Yeah.
It would simply generate negative publicity for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that happening. I mean,
Gotta be graphics.
who knows, maybe, but I doubt that would happen. But thank you for your donation. Cody Gunst with $5.55. Struggling with Watchdog Violation BSODs, or blue screens, with my 2400G running at stock with all up-to-date drivers, updates, and BIOS during playback and gaming. CPU Watchdog Violation, he says he's running at stock. That is interesting. Usually I get those when I'm attempting to overclock or something like that. But yeah, that would be something that I would probably try to report either directly back to AMD or to my motherboard manufacturer. Because if it's something that is repeatable and happening consistently, then they would probably be interested in getting some system logs and stuff from you to find out if that's something that they need to issue a fix for. I haven't heard of that specifically though, so
Yeah, it could be anything.
yeah. I'm sorry, Cody, though. Hopefully that is fixable with an update. Next up is Dominic Frazine. $10 donation. Kyle's going to read this.
You guys. It's so good, isn't it? Isn't it just so good?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome. Both you helped me so much with my first build. Can't thank you enough. Next round's on me.
You're welcome, Dominic.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Congrats on the first build. That's always a nice milestone. Be quit, Zach. Be quit, Zach. $14.99. Was wondering what ultra-wide you would recommend for a 1080 Ti. Having a hard time picking one out. An ultra-wide, well, we just talked about this, right? The Acer Predator X32 or X34.
Well, there's the X34, which is a little bit older, so you might be able to get a good deal on it.
Or the
X35 is a little bit newer.
Right. Or the
Asus
PG348Q.
PG348Q.
Was that right?
Yeah. They're all very expensive, though. If you want ultra-wide, and a good
G-Sync.
pairing for a 1080 Ti is going to be 3440 by 1440. If you want all that with G-Sync, then they're all over $1,000,
Yeah.
which sucks.
Maybe wait for like a Black Friday deal or something if you can swing it. If you can wait that long. Pup Shepherd, $10. One shirt for Paul, one shirt for Kyle.
No.
Nice. I cleaned up my Twitter, so no more visible naughty stuff or naughty bits. Literally naughty bits. I've been to your Twitter. Went back in the day, Pup. I know the bits you're talking about. Also, my YouTube /RazGriz359 has been clean from the start. Well, that's good to know. And I'm glad won't be promoting any not safe for work material on my chesticles. Thanks to your shirt. Thanks, Pup. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Pup.
Engsky. 55 Norwegian krona. Is it possible to make a PC that can play Pong?
Cannot play Pong.
Wait, that cannot play Pong? Why is that a question?
I don't know.
I want to make a PC that can't play Pong. Why would you ever want to do that?
It's a calculator. Just buy a calculator. That's a computer,
Or
and it
watch.
can't play Pong.
Smartwatch.
Yeah.
That's true.
So yes, the answer to your question is yes, it is possible. Very,
Anything's
very possible.
Steve Blumquist, $10. Thank you for always being about the beer and the hardware. Is it worth it to upgrade to Ryzen now or wait for Ryzen 2? I would wait. I do virtualization work from time to time, but am in no rush.
Yes,
Then
especially
definitely
if you're in no rush. Yeah, hang out for a month and a half, and see what the Ryzen 2 launch does for the market.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you might find some deals on first gen Ryzen once Ryzen 2 comes out, if that's turns out to be enough for your needs.
Yeah.
Engski with the 109 Norwegian krona. What's your opinion on Singularity computers?
Is pretty epic builds that he does all the time.
I prefer plural computers.
Sure. Not familiar with Singularity?
I am.
His first name is, I knew it. It's escaping me right now. Yeah, he does amazing builds. He documents them very well on his channel. Does a lot of talking over what he's done with the custom setups that he has put on there. And I believe he's now also launched a store where he sells products directly. I was actually in a Twitter conversation with him. Oh gosh, I feel like this was a year or two ago, and I think I fell off, and we were talking about possibly doing something together, and I think I completely my fault stopped communicating, which I'm very bad at a lot of the time. But yeah, he does really good work.
These builds are insane.
They're amazing. Des Jones, $5 donation. My current rig is dead in the water since my GPU died, so can't use it. Should I tough it out until next month when Zen Plus releases, or suffer GPU price gouging? There's no indication that the Zen Plus release will have any impact on GPU pricing. So
Yeah.
GPU price gouging is pretty much just a decision that you have to make for yourself right now. It's a crappy one. I tend to lean towards telling people, no, don't spend ridiculous overpriced prices on something that should cost way less money. But I understand that some people are in a situation where they just want a game, and maybe you've been saving for it for a while, or maybe you just have a decent amount of disposable income and you can afford it. In which case, go for it. It's gonna suck in a year or two when prices come back down, but it's just understand that you're overpaying for what you're getting.
You could still get like a 1080 Ti in the meantime for relatively cheap, and enjoy 1080p gaming like pretty smoothly.
Yeah, if you're looking at 1080 Ti's though, and they're plus $1,000, then definitely look at Titans, because Titans are better, and they're often, in some situations, can be cheaper. And you get a lot more memory.
Crazy.
All right, Guido Salducci, $5 donation. Sorry guys, I missed side A because I'm in the hospital. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
As such, I mispent my PC submissions. I'm currently watching side B live on my phone.
Hope
Guido,
you're all right, man.
I'm sorry you're in the hospital. I
That
wish you a
sucks.
quick recovery. And no worries for missing side A. I'm glad you're able to catch us for side B, though.
Maybe he's like in the hospital just like vandalizing shit, though. Maybe he's not even a patient.
That's
He
possible.
could just be
I don't want to assume that.
an
though.
asshole. Just dicking around, like fucking with the nurses and,
That would be a weird
jerking it into
pastime.
the doctor's office. I don't know.
That's odd.
Salducci, you're a sick bastard. But I don't know why I put up with you. Anyway, thanks for the donation. Des Jones, $5. What are your thoughts on this monitor, the LG 32GK850G Black, 31.5-inch QHD 1440p 5 millisecond 144 Hz NVIDIA G-Sync gaming monitor, IMO, best gaming monitor out right now, for $815.
That's what it's selling for on Newegg right now.
31-inch 144
So,
Hz G-Sync.
I have a couple monitors this size that are 4K. And you can get a 4K monitor this size, even with decent color reproduction.
Is this
so,
an IPS?
I don't know. Let's see the color range.
Because, I mean, IPS, GTFO. Am I right?
16.7 million colors, so probably not.
Well,
so that would probably be your
That's why it's cheap.
your downfall in this. Is that it? I'm not positive. It might not be TN, but it definitely doesn't have the same. It doesn't have the billion color range. It's not a 10-bit.
Yeah.
QHD sphere lighting, whatever sphere lighting is.
Wait, what the hell? Standard. Doesn't
Yeah,
even
I'm not
say on
seeing
their
the panel
website.
technology advertised here, which probably means it's TN. So you're probably not going to get really good color reproduction here. You're going to get really good refresh rate, and you're going to get G-Sync.
VA.
That's a VA panel, so that's kind of in between. So it'll be a little bit better than a TN. But yeah, it does seem like a very solid set of features for a gaming monitor. Just bear in mind that your purchase is going to be largely dependent on what you want to do with it. So
Yeah.
if you're gaming, then cool. If you're going to be doing gaming and content creation or something like that, then you might also take a look at some of the other options that are 4K, that better color reproduction, but you're not going to have the refresh rate. The 4K Asus PB whatever that I got.
Yeah. Depends on if you're prioritizing gaming
it's a 60 hertz
or
monitor, so-
productivity.
Yep. Okay.
JJ5Cool1, $4.99. I'm back. Missed you guys. Going to Disneyland on Sunday. Come say hi. I'll be wearing my new shirt I just ordered.
Kyle, you can do that. You have a pass, right?
I do not.
Oh, you don't have a pass.
We don't have passes.
You
No.
just go?
Well, the last time we went was like the first time in like a year or two.
Oh, I thought I've seen you go a few times, but I get
Well, I went to like Universal Studios and stuff.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
that's where that's from. But cool. Thanks for picking up a shirt. And
Disneyland's expensive now. It's like $120 or something to go for a day. It's ridiculous.
I think we paid like under 100. It was like 90.
That depends if you do the
Maybe 'cause we're
single
Southern
single
California.
park or park hopper. Oh yeah, in Southern California you can get a little bit of a
Little
discount,
bit,
but
yeah. Cool.
right.
Enjoy your Disneyland
enjoy
trip.
the happiest
JJ.
place on earth.
Siran Kari, $5. Sorry if I butchered your name there. If my PC has an i5 2500K and 8 gigs of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM, but also has an Asus Strix 1070 OC edition, how desperate should I be to upgrade?
I mean, you're okay for right now. I would probably want to get some more memory at some point. And you might actually have an easier time getting some DDR3 to add onto that system if you did want to upgrade that. Beyond that, you're looking at a platform upgrade, which means you'll need DDR4 and everything. So given the price of memory, I would say hold out with what you got,
Yeah.
because that's not a bad setup, especially if the 2500K is overclocked a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're fine. You're doing just fine. Alan W. $5. Thank you guys for featuring my build. Much inspiration by your builds. First PC built in a decade. Keep up the great content.
Thank you, Alan.
Cool. Yeah.
Glad we could do that.
We enjoyed taking a look at your system. Thank you for submitting it. Austin Morrow, $5, no comment. Oh, thank you.
He did a follow-up.
He did a follow-up comment, follow-up donation with a comment that says, you guys should add beer tankards to your store.
Tankard, like one of the big steins with the flippy lid.
Is that what that is?
I think.
Tankard?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could do a short special edition tankard or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
One of those. Looks like a medieval type of
that would be
mug.
fairly medieval.
Medieval mug. Sure. You never know. The sky's the limit. Double Derp 92. 5 Australian. Intel i7 4710 HQ at 2.7 gigahertz from 3.4 gigahertz with GTX 860M 2 gigabyte to Intel i7 7700 HQ 2.7 to 3.7 gigahertz with the GTX 1060 6 gigabyte. Is it worth upgrading? Need to upgrade anyway.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a pretty big upgrade.
he needs to upgrade. It's a very big boost in the GPU's performance, as well as a pretty decent boost in the CPU's performance. We're not having prices listed, but you said you need to upgrade, so go for it.
If you want to fork out 400,
Yeah,
500
and,
bucks on a
and
GTX
investing in
1060,
investing in a laptop with the 1066 gig is a lot more price effective than investing in an actual 1066 gig right now too. So
yeah, might want to consider that and just buying like a set of peripherals to
Yeah.
connect it to the laptop. Microdrive, $5. Just bought a pint glass from you guys. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Finger pistols. Brandon, 5 GB. Great British pounds. What monitor do you recommend under 200 Great British pounds? There are a lot of panels in that range, in that sort of entry-level budget area that I
would go for
don't know.
2560 by 1440 resolution. I would go
27
for
inches.
a better panel than TN, which means preferably IPS.
Yes.
Maybe VA. And I would go for, did I say 27 inch? 27 inch,
I said
2560.
27 inch.
27 inch, 2560 by 1440, and then get the highest refresh rate that you can afford. You should be able to find a 60 hertz for sub $200.
Yeah.
And maybe even one that supports FreeSync, but that would only be useful for you if you had an AMD graphics card.
That's true.
All right. That's all.
Is it? Holy crap.
We're done.
Wow.
We're
thank
done
you guys
with this live show.
so much for being here. Everyone who donated, asked questions, and just all y'all in chat for making this another fantastic episode. Before we go, we'd like to do some Johnson shout-outs.
Oh, yeah,
for
Johnson's.
all the merchandise you guys may have picked up. So let's quickly do that.
We got a few here. Oh, I got several that
Oh,
have
boy.
come in. My
Oh,
goodness.
boy, oh, boy.
Alex Z from Santa Clara got the metallic silver black tri-blend shirt. Thank you very much, Alex Johnson. Jackson O from Iowa got the Star Wars black shirt with both of us and the thumbscrew beer set, which is classic.
Nice. Jackson, was that a double Johnson for Jackson? No. You didn't
Yes,
say
it's
that.
double Johnson for Jackson.
Double Jackson Johnson for CPU cooler, Heather Navy t-shirt, hashtag free Heather, and a BIOS flasher shirt, also heavy metal gray. Thought I said Heather metal gray. That wouldn't make sense.
Next up, Zoo. I believe that's Zoo from Georgia. Big Ol' Johnson got the metallic silver black lightweight hoodie. The
Woo.
classic lightweight hoodie.
Johnson to
Thank you, Johnson.
Winston Corradino. He picked up a fidget spinner. Nice.
That's a double Johnson for Winston there. Also
be one
got
of the
the
last
gaming
fidget
desk
spinners.
mat and the pub glass.
Woo!
Single pub glass.
Craig Davidson, you got a Bitwit metallic silver logo black t-shirt, limited edition.
Big Ol' Johnson for D. Wayne.
Johnson.
Dwayne from Pennsylvania got the gaming desk mat, the big long one.
Nathan. Johnson to you, Nathan. You picked up an awesome hardware sword fight gaming mouse pad and a CPU cooler and flash BIOS full color 15-ounce black ceramic mug set.
Michael B. from California got the Star Wars men's black t-shirt. So Johnson to you from both of us.
D. Wayne gets a double Johnson.
Double Johnson, D. Wayne.
Picked up an awesome hardware Star Wars and Heather Navy t-shirt, hashtag free Heather.
Dominic F. from Michigan got the metallic silver black tri-blend t-shirt. Thank you for your patronage, Johnson.
Johnson to Shui. It's just Xue.
Zhu.
Zhu. Wow, how'd you know that?
Because I tried to say that 2 minutes ago.
Oh, but how did you know it was Zhu?
X is usually like a Z sound in Chinese.
Zhu.
I could totally be wrong.
Zhu.
Probably.
Zhu-chang. Thank you very much, Shu, for picking up a Crystal RGB shirt and a BIOS Flasher shirt.
And Robert from Missouri got the thumbscrew tri-blend t-shirt. Big Ol' Johnson for you, Robert.
Johnson, Aiden CPU cooler, Heather Navy t-shirt, hashtag free Heather.
And Diego from Mexico.
Diego.
Oh, order from Mexico. Got the gaming mouse pad and desk mat set. You get two desk mats.
Crystal RGB.
Thank you very much, Diego.
A Crystal RGB shirt and a Stay Positive tri-blend were sold to Jesus.
Jesus.
Johnson to you, Jesus. Or should I say Hunson? Okay.
Humson.
Dominic. Double Johnson.
Double
Dominic.
Johnson for Dominic.
Dominic, Bitwit metallic silver logo black tri-blend t-shirt, limited edition. And then we've got a Johnson for Leo. Quee. CPU cooler shirt. Wow, you guys ordered a lot of stuff.
So many things.
Peter Dwyer, and you can let me know if any of these are double Johnsons I might have forgot. Peter Dwyer, Bitwit, Words in a Circle, 20-ounce pint glass, Beware of Bottlenecks, Heather t-shirt. A few more here. Robert D. Picking up a Bitwit gray logo black tri-blend
That's a double Johnson
t-shirt.
for Robert.
Double Johnson to you, Robert. And Emily Sang. Crystal RGB shirt. Johnson to you, Emily. And finally, last but not least, Daniel F. for picking up a pint glass. Thank you very much,
Glorious.
and Johnson to you. Guys,
All right.
this has been a lovely episode, and you guys have made it possible. Be sure to like the video on YouTube once it's up there, and if you'd like to do timestamps for either me or Paul, we would very much appreciate it. We'll pin ya and all that jazz. Finally, we have a raid. A Twitch raid shout-out going to Son of a Tech _ Son of a Tech _ just how it sounds. Son of a Tech _ we are going to be rating the shit out of this person. Let's verify that they are streaming. This has been a recommendation from our good friend and moderator Cell Processing, and it does look like Son of a Tech _ is streaming at the moment with 11 viewers.
11 viewers.
Let's times that by at least 50.
Everybody go raid Son of a Tech.
Which I think we can do.
Tell them we sent you.
And be nice.
And yeah, everyone be
kind.
Be
good people.
Be kind representatives of the awesome hardware
Be
community.
the viewers, be the followers we're proud of. And we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Good night.
Goodbye.